At the end, if anybody's got any questions, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Anybody got any questions?
No.
You should have a question. Come on,
Huh?
you gotta have a question. Somebody has to have a question. Come on.
What is it?
Basically, the thing is that that everybody did work hard. I told everybody they did. You know that for sure.
I'm gonna have to put you on the coaching staff.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna
right.
have to do, man. You're positive
Right here,
all the
Coach.
time.
Yeah,
Good job.
Do you like coffee?
Do I like coffee? Yes, I like coffee. I like coffee.
How many times did you have to re-wrestle matches?
Oh,
God.
you talking about that? Well, I only re-wrestled. I only re-wrestled twice. A lot of times when things happen, there wasn't a re-wrestle.
I've seen one where you had to wrestle.
Hold on, Coach is talking.
I re-wrestled twice. I re-wrestled one at the World Championships and one at the Olympic Games. Is what I did. You know that story, huh? So you watched the doc. That's why you're asking me that question. Oh, if you watch that doc, what's my biggest regret?
Olympic?
No, it's not the Olympics. It's not that it was the Olympics. I'm gonna tell you what it was. So the story is, what Brady's asking is, I was in the Olympics. I won a match. I wrestled a world champion first round. I beat him. There was a questionable call. They rescored it. They videoed it and watched it Matt's side, and they said the score stayed. And then later they protested it, and they said I had to re-wrestle the guy. And I'll tell you, this is my biggest regret. I should have just won again. I always tell people that. Like, the whole reason I wrestled is because it was hard. And because when you're trying to be the best guy in the world or on the planet, during those Olympic Games, I should have just won again. And I always tell people that's my regret. And instead, it was that moment that I was trained for. Like that, you're always trained for this one moment that's going to happen. At some point, you don't know what it is. Could be a tough match, could be state finals. I should have just went out there with the same focus, beat the guy again, and beat everybody else. That's what I should have done. So that's my regret. So when people say, "Oh man, it sucks. I didn't like it, but I should have just won again."
Yeah.
But it was in my control to win again, and I let it get away from me. And I always tell people, I didn't tell that story for a long time. I was talking to a guy, and I didn't share that story about my career, and you guys would have never heard about it, that duck, because it's that old saying, you don't cry over spilled milk. I was brought up not to cry about things, and I didn't. And then one day they asked me to tell the stories. I'm like, sure, I'll tell the story. And now I get this title of best guy in the world without a world title. That title sucks. I'd rather just have the gold medal. And I should have just won the match. And I felt sorry for myself. I literally wanted people to help me. I wanted them to find. But man, I should have just won the next match. So I always tell people, don't be a victim. It's like, when you're hurt, you have injuries, but listen, there's nobody talking about the guy who should have won the NCAA. Oh, so-and-so would have been the NCAA champ had his shoulder not been hurt. Or had it. Nobody cares. When it comes, you're never going to be 100%, and this is a big thing that coaches use, and I try to avoid it. And sometimes it's habit, it's repetition. It's like, I'll get you. I'm not going to forget you. Hang on one second. Like when we said your head's down, that's a bad shot. Well, that's true and that's not true. Hopefully you got that today, right? And it's the old saying, coaches always say, give me 100%. Well, I think 100% is when everything is just in line. I always say you got to win when you're at 70%. I need a group of guys on my team that you have the ability to win at 70%. So I don't scream in the room, give me 100%, or you gave me 80. I'm like, hey, it's very simple. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, my rotator cuff is shot. It hurts like hell. You guys wouldn't know it because what do you care? I'm not going to come in and say, hey, guys, it's going to be a bad clinic. My shoulder hurts today. Right? Nobody cares about my shoulder. Nobody cares about, my back's a little twitchy. You just adjust. You adjust. And if you're not perfect, and that's why I see guys get caught up. They want everything. I want my food to be right. I want this to be right. I want this to be right. Well, guess what? Sometimes you get a flat tire on the way to weigh-ins and you got 5 minutes to get on the scale and you don't get the exact warm-up. Then be ready for that. Be ready to compete at 60 or 70%. Go ahead.
So I know the reason that you lost because you worked too hard.
Oh yeah? Who told you that one? I don't know. I think I worked just right.
He told you why.
Go ahead.
What place did you win in state champ?
I won states 4 times. 4 times.
What?
One of my coaches had done 8 times.
8 times? Coach is pretty good. Hopefully I don't wrestle.
What's
Stever, yeah, he's pretty good. Go ahead.
So how many matches have you won in your high school career?
Don't know. High school. I thought you were going to do the whole career thing. High school was like 130 something. But look, here's the thing. This is one thing everybody gets caught up on. Okay, so really there's adjustments. You guys all know my wins, right? That's why I'm here. You know my wins. You know my history and my career. You know the winning side. I remember the losing side. And I remember the losing side in this capacity. Everybody thinks that, like, wrestling was natural to me. It wasn't. Like, I was not. I don't have, I wish I had leverage. I wish I was long and skinny. You know, I think leverage is the key when it comes to wrestling, but I didn't have that. So I had to adjust my wrestling to fit my body style. I hit techniques that fit my body style. And I always use this story because everybody likes to talk about all the stuff that I did do. Here's what I remember. You guys know the U.S. Open, right? It's the toughest tournament at the senior level. It's the best college guys, best out-of-college guys. It's the guys trying to make the world an Olympic team. I wrestled in the U.S. Open 13 times. 13 times I wrestled in this tournament. The best tournament in the United States. 13 times. I made the world team. I made the Olympic team. How many times do you think I won that tournament? No, I got to win some.
2.
3? Yes, 3 times. This is what I say. Look, I lost 9 years in a row. Do you know when guys go like, oh, I lost my freshman year of state. I lost my sophomore year. I went to that tournament for 9 years in a row I lost. I was trying to be the best in the world. I'm like, I can't freaking make the world team yet. I can't win the U.S. Open. 9 years in a row and I lost. But I can tell you this, and this is when I heard somebody over here squilling about losing a takedown. I never once left saying, I suck, I'm not any good, I can't. I always left saying, I was upset with myself, gotta adjust, did this. I knew all the things I did wrong. Beat this guy, beat this guy, beat this guy. Dang, John Fisher beat me again. I lost in the last 30 seconds. I took a shot, I should have taken the shot. Why'd you do that? Go back and adjust. Next year, beat John Fisher, I lose to somebody else. Dang it, gotta adjust. So it's 9 years in a row of adjusting. Some of you guys haven't even wrestled 9 years yet in your life, right? Some of you aren't even 9 years old.
I'm not even 9.
That's right. And I lost 9 years in a row. Then I won it on my 10th and 11th and 12th try, right? That's the story I remember. Everybody thinks it was easy for me. It wasn't. It wasn't because I was, and pain is all the same. It doesn't matter if you lose the elementary state championship. The pain that you feel is the same pain I felt at the Olympic Games.
My
You know?
sister is 9 years old, but she doesn't wrestle.
Okay. Any other questions?
So where did you go to for high school?
Jefferson Morgan, small little school in Pennsylvania. Double A.
In the Olympic Games, your last match that you got to pin, why didn't he wrestle the world champ?
Oh, that's a crazy story. So, to get into it, we were in these pools. It's a point system, and I'll tell you my mistake is I pinned the guy. That's a totally different story. It's too long for this, but I shouldn't have pinned the guy. It was a match I shouldn't have pinned the guy. I screwed up and pinned the guy.
Why?
Yeah, it's too long, so you guys want to get it right.
See,
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know these guys are young, but now that you're continuing your college coaching career, what's the one thing you look for in a kid?
Upside. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for upside. I'm looking if somebody I feel like have they peaked? You know, when we're talking recruiting, have they peaked? And are the matches getting closer? Here's what I can tell you that will help you. This is where my dad was really smart. Okay, so we were on the boat last night, and you know, how many of you guys know the cement job? That move, right? The cement job, right? The mixer. So my second year of wrestling, when you're young, you get fixated on these moves. I was pinning everybody with the cement job all the time, and my coaches were trying to tell me to stop doing it. So finally, my dad sat down and said, "You can never ever use the cement job again." So then, what I started doing was choreographing my matches. So if I could come in here and beat a kid all day with the same move, is that smart?
no.
So I would say, okay, Cary, take him down with a single. Next thing has to be a high crotch. Next thing has to be a low single. Next thing has to be a pull and spin. Next thing has to be a duck under. That's the way I trained when I was about 9, 10, 11 years old. That's what I started doing. Same thing when I got to college. I'd pick the biggest guys. You know, if I was beating guys at my weight, it was still the same thing. I didn't go in there saying win. See, the problem is when people get fixated on winning. See, if you're in here crying because you lost a takedown, you're fixated on winning. And I wasn't fixated on winning. I was fixated on trying to be the best guy in the practice room. The best guy. I went for the outstanding wrestler in every tournament I went to. In my mind, I knew I was winning the tournament. The question is, was I getting the OW? And if you watch some of the best guys, you watch Jake, you watch Taylor, you watch those guys, you can tell. Their focus is on being the most dominant guy and being the best in every position. And that's what you got to start doing here. So it makes no sense to, if you have a cement shop, just to pin guys over and over again. You're not expanding your wrestling. And so every year I'd start, and then it got to the point in competition, I would start choreographing my matches. Single, double, IC. The other kid was worried about beating me, and I was worried about, I got to hit this duck under. I got to hit this little single. So I was never caught up on winning. And then I say, I heard you guys losing a takedown. Come on. There's no way, especially in my career. I like that you're not going to lose a takedown. I never get upset about it. I get my one. I get the next one. Maybe I lose 3 in a row. Like, it's crazy to think you're never going to lose a takedown. You know? And you guys start getting ruffled when a takedown, it's going to happen. You're in here for 2 hours. You're going to lose a takedown. Put that stuff in the back of your mind, and you stay in the present. You don't cry about it. Get your one and get the next one. That's the way I think about it.
What's cement truck?
Cement job.
Yeah.
Head, you know, throw it. Any others?
To show you that one wasn't.
Last one.
Okay. The thing is, how did you go to states like 9 times or something?
No, U.S. Open. U.S. Open. I went there 9 times. It's an adult wrestling tournament. Is what it is. So
Adult?
yeah.
I was imagining
Like after college.
even in.
All right, guys, listen up.
Yeah, some days.
Listen up. First, when we're done, we're all gonna shake Coach Kolat's hand. The only rule in my room really is whenever there's an NCAA champion in the room, to me, NCAA champions are a really cool thing. It's a very hard thing to do. Coach Kolat won 2 of them. You always shake an NCAA champion's hand. There's 2 in here today. The other one's sitting down there, Tommy Rollins, wherever he went.
We went to get Subway.
You went to go to Subway. Make sure you shake his hand too. They're special people. They reached the goal that you probably should want to do one day. Should be your goal to be NCAA champion. These guys have done it, so you should always shake their hand and maybe some good luck or something to rub off on you when you do it. I want you to thank Coach Kolat. He did a great job for you guys. And Coach Riggs is here. Coach Riggs is the coach of your team, the team that you're trying to get on. So he'll be here in the second practice, so make sure. Anything you want to say, Dave?
Watch you guys working hard. Really appreciate that.
So all good stuff. Coach Kolat, we really appreciate you working with these guys, and we're going to see you in the next session here.
All right.
All right. Good
All
job.
right. Good work, guys. Good job.
Shake hands, shake
All right,
hands.
buddy. Good luck. Good luck.